So as mentioned, you're going to go through the profile. And again, it's really just questions about the student, question about the parents, those financial questions, as I mentioned, income, assets, household size. Then you're going to submit the profile. You will be given a chance to review the application. So all your answers are going to come up. Be sure that you go ahead and read through, make sure you've answered all those questions correctly. There will be prompts that come up if the profile thinks you've answered a question incorrectly. Maybe you put really high income for the student because you made a mistake and you put parent income under the student section. Profile is going to give you a prompt and say, can you check this and make sure it's accurate? So go ahead and take a look at those prompts. They'll come right up on the screen. And you are able to print your answers if you want, just basically a print record of what you submitted. You'll need to check a box saying that you certify that all your information is correct. You'll at this point be asked to pay, or you'll be told that you have been given a fee waiver and you don't have to pay. And then you'll go ahead and submit that profile. On the profile, there's something called the dashboard, and this is really your home base. You can access this at any time. It's going to be a tab at the top of your application, and this is going to include some great information for you as a family. It's going to be your application status at every school. So every school is going to be listed. It'll say, I've applied to Boston University. I've submitted my application on this date, and that's going to be for every single school. It's also going to show you the school's deadline and any additional requirements that school is requiring. Next steps as well. It'll show your payment that you have officially paid. This will be where you can also go back in and print the application or save it to your desktop if you want. If you submit the profile and then you realize, I want to add some additional schools. My child decided to apply to these 3 more schools that require the profile. You're going to log back into your dashboard, go right to your dashboard. This is where you can add additional schools and then you'll pay at that time as well. There's also a link here to iDoc, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And there's also a space here to put in your non-custodial parent's email address. If you didn't put in the email address earlier, or you want to submit that email again to the non-custodial parent, that's where you can do that. Go right to your dashboard. And that CB FinAid ID, that basically the profile ID number, that's also going to be found on your dashboard. Something new with the profile in the last few years is that you can submit corrections 1 time per applicant in certain situations. If you, by accident, told the profile, I'm actually an independent student, maybe I'm an orphan or ward of the court, and then you, by accident, click that box incorrectly, you can go back in and correct that and say, no, I'm actually not. I answered that wrong. I'm a dependent student. You can correct that. If you forgot to put in some business or farm information, but there's actually also just a catch-all box. Let's say you submit the profile and then you're looking at your printout later and you realize, I put the total wrong information for my assets. I got to fix that. You can go back in and just basically select that you made a mistake, and then you can provide a written explanation of your error. You can do this about 24 hours after the original application has been submitted. So you have to wait to submit the application, wait a day, and then you can go back in and make that correction. If you're adding colleges, you can't do a correction and add a college at the same time. So go ahead and submit your correction first, and then go back in and add your additional colleges. And let me go back here. Sorry about that. The other thing you should know is if you made a mistake and you've already submitted 1 correction, you realize you need to make another correction, what you can also do is just send a note to all the financial aid offices as well. There's also no charge to submit the correction. So if you're fixing something small, go ahead and submit a correction. You're not going to be charged again. If it's something big that you want to explain to every financial aid office, probably best to send everyone an email, include the student's name and that CB FinAid ID, and then just explain anything you want the financial aid office to know at that point.